So, as I was just working on my anticipated Whoop vs Apple Watch Ultra comparison, Apple goes off and drops iOS 26.5 Beta 4 to all developers to try out. So, without further ado, let's talk about everything new with it because there's a couple things that we definitely need to talk about, and I do think the final release is coming relatively soon. Let's get into it. But now, if you guys do enjoy videos like this one, where we keep you up to date on all things Apple, consider subscribing to the channel and help us get to 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. Well, alright everyone, let's get right into this, and we are dealing with 26.5 Developer Beta 4, and if we go into our settings, let's look at the actual build size. So let's go into our photos here. You can see that for me, this was about 14.88 gigs on my iPhone 17 Pro, and then I also actually took a screenshot on my iPad, which is already over here. You can see that it was about 13.15 gigs on my M4 iPad Pro, the 12.9 inch. So give yourself maybe 25 to 30 gigs of open storage to get this installed and installed correctly with no issues on either of these devices. Now again, it is a relatively large update, but it's a lot of back-end fixes and back-end improvements. There isn't a lot to really show off here, but I did want to give you guys the actual build size and the build number. So we go into our general, go into our about right here, go into our iOS version, and then tap on the 26.5. We are now on 23F5069 lowercase b. Before that, the end moniker was lowercase e, meaning we are getting closer and closer. So I think we're about 2 weeks away from the final release coming out probably mid-May. We'll definitely get an RC edition in the next week or so, and then probably by May 14th to May 15th, we'll get the public version. And then finally, with iOS 27 around the corner, or the announcement of that at WWDC, coming in early June. And then between there, we'll probably get some security patch updates like a 26.5.1 or something like that, but any major updates from then on are probably going to be very small compared to what iOS 27 brings. So again, there still isn't anything new when it comes to 26.5 Beta 4, especially compared to Beta 3 and Beta 2. We still don't have the Gemini-powered Siri or anything like that, but I kind of want to show off everything else that we've seen. So the biggest update here, of course, for better or for worse, is going to be the ads. So I took a screenshot, and when you do open up your Apple Maps, there's going to be a new splash screen called Ads. So it says Maps may show local ads based on your approximate location, current search terms, or view of the map while you search. For your privacy, advertising information is not linked to your Apple account. So again, Google Maps has done that for a very long time, and it's a way to kind of get people to go to your store or your restaurant versus the others. And Apple's doing this, but a little bit different. So they're allowing retailers and companies to advertise in their Apple Maps, but it's all going to be based on your location and what's trending around you, and it's not going to be based on your Apple ID or your Apple ID data. So at least you stay privatized a little bit, but they're going to be working on trend data to really push you towards restaurants and retailers that would want you in the door, and that would make sense at the end of the day, but it's going to be based on trending versus your own personal data. And then another big update coming to iOS 26.5 is going to be messages and the end-to-end encryption. So RCS is going to be the best messaging option for green bubbles when you are texting somebody who is maybe on an Android phone or something like that. And it's going to provide you with a lot more iMessage-like features, like being able to double tap to like and react to things and send much higher quality images and videos. So end-to-end encryption is in beta, and it's not available for all devices and carriers, and conversations will be labeled as such. And I've already started to notice that whenever you create a conversation with somebody that does have green bubbles, you'll see something come up here, and it'll either be SMS or it'll say RCS, and it'll even say it down here where you actually type out anything. So this isn't actually a real person. It's like an automated thing for me to get updates, but you can see that this is an SMS text versus an RCS text, and everybody with 26.5 will be able to do that from an end-to-end encryption standpoint. Another big one that's coming, more so for app developers in the App Store and how they handle subscriptions and things of that nature. So normally when you sign up to something, you have either a weekly or monthly or annual type of pricing and commitment when it comes to, signing up for an in-app purchase for an app store. For any type of application, it's usually either monthly or annually, and normally when you go with an annual pricing, it will give you a heavy discount as well, but you normally have to pay up that entire price up front. So let's say something is $15 a month, but instead you can get it for $120 a year, bringing it down to $10 a month. But you'd have to pay that lump sum of $100 up front on that 12-month commitment. Now app developers will be allowed to still give you that discount for that yearly kind of commitment that you get when you get an annual discount, but you'll be charged on a monthly basis. So you'll still be charged on a monthly basis for those $10 in that example, like I said, $10 a month, but you will be locked into that 1-year commitment. I don't know how Apple's going to really handle this, because maybe somebody can delete their credit card information or something like that, but let's see exactly how they do handle it to make sure App Store developers get more optionality when they are charging people on a monthly basis or a yearly basis, and see if there's any kind of downfall that comes with that. Another small update that was shown in the code for 26.5 Beta 4 is that Apple's going to be announcing some new watch faces, some Pride-inspired watch faces for watchOS 26.5 and iOS 26.5, so it's going to be called Pride Luminance. We'll see exactly what that looks like moving forward, but that'll come probably with the RC edition and the public release of 26.5. And then something else that's going to be coming up that's going to be in the notifications, but also in live activities, is that in the EU specifically, third-party accessories will be able to give you live activities on your lock screen on your phone. So that'll be a welcome feature that hopefully comes over to the US so more third-party accessories can be able to handle something along those lines. And then a few other smaller things that were noticed in the code as well that we were able to test out is when it comes to Apple accessories, so it's something like the Magic Keyboard, the Magic Mouse, or the Magic Trackpad, when you physically connect it to the USB-C port on your iPhone or your iPad, it will automatically pair itself as well via Bluetooth to that device so you don't have to worry about it again. And there's also some hints at year in review in 2026 for the Books application. So if you guys aren't familiar with the Books application, it actually has a lot going for it nowadays. I'm not a big reader, so for me, this isn't a huge thing. But you do have your reading goals up here, up top. It gives you all your information of all the books that you've read. Again, I'm not a big reader, so this isn't for me, but they're going to have a year in review, similar to how you get it with Spotify Unwrapped or Spotify Wrapped and Apple Music year in review. So you know what you've been reading, how much you've been reading, how many minutes you've been reading, and things like that. And then lastly, when you do transfer over from iOS to Android, so if we go to our settings, go to General, go all the way to the bottom where it says Transfer or Reset, and then Transfer to Android, you now have the ability to, when transferring your data from iPhone to Android, there's a new option when sharing your messages that you're allowed to either send none of them over, send 30 days worth of messages, or send 1 year, or of course send all of them. So very similar to how iMessage currently does it to saving your iMessage conversations, you can then do that when you are transferring over those messages over to your new Android phone. But those are all the updates, and then overall performance with the iPhone has been fantastic. I have no issues with it. Battery life has been taking a little bit of a hit, but that could just be because my usage has been a lot higher recently. So if we go over here to our battery, go into where it says, give it a second, go to where it says view our battery usage, and we can go on a day like Friday where we did 111% battery. Again, I'm constantly charging this thing. We're only getting about 6 hours and 15 minutes of screen on time. Over here, 120% battery, 7 hours and 12 minutes. A day like Sunday, 91%, only 5 hours. So again, I have a smaller battery. I have an iPhone 17 Pro. I use it pretty intensely, and you can see that I'm getting maybe 6 to 8 hours of screen on time on 100% charge. And if I want to get more than that, I gotta, of course, charge it throughout the day. But that's everything. Let's finish up the video. So as you guys saw, compared to Beta 3 and even Beta 2, there weren't too many differences. If anything, this is more of a story about the performance and everything, how it's getting tidied up and ready to go for the public release come May. I do think it'll release probably May 7th, between May 7th and May 14th for the entire public to get their hands on 26.5, and then after that, we'll be waiting for iOS 27 that will be announced at WWDC. We could get a 26.6 update, which is kind of rare these days when it comes to Apple. They usually stop at a 0.5 unless there's some other security patches or security updates that need to be done. But outside of that, 26.5 has been great for performance, for battery life. The keyboard is a lot better than it was before with 26.4, so I'm excited for everybody to get their hands on it relatively soon. So let me know in the comment down below. Are you guys in the developer program? Are you in the public developer program? Always curious to know people's thoughts and exactly what they see different. And if there's anything that we missed, definitely leave it down below, and then we'll do it on a follow-up video or talk about it in a future video. But that'll do it for this video, everybody. Leave a comment down below of how many times I said video. But also, if you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below. And if you guys want to watch more videos like this one, like my review on the new Satechi Cube Dock, definitely check one of these videos out. But until next time, I'm Fernando. Peace, everybody. A lot of good things coming with 26.5 that are under the hood that not a lot of people are talking about.